Hi everybody, welcome to my talk. Today I'm going to talk about utility chain, the last network service layer. Um, okay, this works. So, hello DappCon builders, I'm very happy to be here on behalf of Last. My name is Anett and I work as DevRel at Last Network, which is the cash flow reinvestment layer 2, and I'm very excited to talk about the utility chains and the blockchains as a service layers. And I'm very happy for those of you who stayed here for my talk, although it's kind of late during the day and I know that there is a lot of things happening tonight. By the way, production crew, the timer is not counting. It's like started, so I'm not sure what's wrong there. But anyway, let's talk about the utility chains. So blockchains are crucial in terms of how we look at the blockchains when it comes to decentralization. They're the crucial component and crucial part of how we look at decentralization, how we look at the utilities. They're crucial in terms of scalability and essentially sustainability. The sustainability of the assets is the most important part of the blockchains, and that's where we found the key point in like what we are solving at last. Especially is blockchains are amazing from the economic perspectives. They are great for like the ecosystem and for the way how we use blockchains as a DeFi solution in like DeFi. And they're like blockchains are giving us new opportunities, what we do with money, and they're just like, blockchains are not only DeFi, but they're very crucial in DeFi as well. So the layer one blockchains have many different utilities. They mainly produce blocks, they finalize transactions, they do have a native token for transaction fees. They are the main layer for the security. So like the layer one blockchains such as Ethereum or Bitcoin or even Cosmos or like pretty much like any other layer one that you like, they are sort of like the driver for the liquidity. They're awesome. They have pretty decent developer experience, but they have kind of high fees. And especially when it comes to blockchain, we see the users like to just like go to like find like another solution when it comes to high fees, and they also don't have the best transaction throughput as well. So those layer one blockchains, as I mentioned before, those can be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cosmos, and there are like many other layer one blockchains, and they have those basic structures and they have the basic utilities, how they work. They're all awesome, but the high fees is the breaking point. That's why we have rollups as a scalability solution for blockchains, and rollups are out there supposed to help us figure out the scalability issues and the way how they work. They process the transactions off chain. So they like batch transactions, they process them off chain, they have a threat proofs for transaction execution, they have a data availability for transactions as well, and essentially they are interoperable. So they connect or they essentially roll back to the layer one, which provides the highest security, but essentially they execute off chain. Layer 2 blockchains are also very good source for how protocol makes money. So they tell a little bit. So rollups essentially they take transaction fees, and of the transaction fees they make money, and that's like all awesome. But that's why there are so many layer 2s, because they're an amazing way how protocols can earn more money. And that's not very sustainable. So, because when it comes to sustainability, what we want, especially in terms of optimistic rollups, we want like builders to get paid and we want users to get paid as well. So, which is like kind of cool, but at the same time, it's not the most optimal way how the cash flow flows into the system and how the cash flow is getting through the system. So, we don't want the teams that are building layer 2s to only make money. Like, the builders are the ones who deserve to earn yield, and the builders and users are the ones who should make a money itself when it comes to layer 2s and rollups itself. So that's why, Optimism and Arbitrum is a great example, but they roll their transactions essentially to the layer 1s, but they are the ones who make money, and that's not exactly how the layer 2s become sustainable. So what we do at last, or what we are trying to achieve, is we are taking the yield that is coming from multiple layer 1s, and we plug it into, essentially in the end, into the layer 2, and we do that through the twin chain mechanism. So the twin chain network mechanism works in a kind of very cool way. So we have a utility chain which works as a service layer, and we have an EVM plus based layer 2 for applications. And the utility chain acts as the centralized bridge and accounting layer. It also has a TSS threshold signature scheme in it, which makes it more decentralized and much more secure. It's mainly the layer 2s are mainly just multi-sig, and multi-sigs are not really safe, and the threshold signature schemes are rotating the keys around the validators and operators. The utility chain itself is the layer that developers don't interact with. It's mainly just for the operators and for validators. It is the centralized consensus layer for cash flow accounting and the centralized bridge between multiple layer 1s. The layer 1s is where the yield is coming from and where the liquidity is coming from. This also opens up variety, or huge opportunity for more features to be added as well to the network. And we're very excited to introduce this new component, or this new network principle. Then the layer 2, the EVM plus base layer 2, is the execution environment for application. It also has a data availability marketplace, native incentives, and customizable gas fee marketplace. These are all the features that will be added, and those are all awesome features that we have at last. The EVM plus base layer 2 is built from Arbitrum stack, and we are utilizing Stylus framework. Stylus framework is developed by Arbitrum, and it is much more efficient comparing to Solidity, as Stylus framework is supporting Rust, C, and C++, and other native languages that are much more efficient when it comes to developing applications on Ethereum, comparing to just basic Solidity, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, we want the applications to be much more efficient than the Solidity, when it comparing to applications developed in Solidity itself. So at Last Network, we are supporting builders. We want builders to get paid. We want the users to get paid from the chain revenues. The chain itself makes money, and we want the users and builders to take advantage of that. And we believe that users and builders are deserved to be paid, not just the layer 2s to make money out of it, and not the protocol itself only making money off the protocol itself. So Last Protocol is built to optimize profits from sustainable resources. There are many different resources where the users can make money from, but essentially we want to support builders and users on its journey and develop them. There are a couple different resources where the yield is coming from and where the revenue itself is coming from before it's distributed back to builders. So we take a resource from yield-bearing assets that are coming in from users. We also take, it's also coming from sequencer fees, profits from autocan emissions, native swap market fee, and as well as many different places. At last, as this new unique protocol design opens up doors to many different ways how we can utilize the yield and where the yield can come from, and it will be distributed straight back to the builders and users through many different options. Also, this is my last slide. I know that I'm probably going a little bit faster than I should, but I wanted to end quickly since it's almost end of the day, and I wanted to give you all as well opportunity for questions. But I wanted to give you a little sneak peek as upcoming conferences where the last team will be is Austin, and we will be also having great presence in Brussels. And in Brussels, get excited as we are doing a barn there. Feel free to grab my contact if this presentation or like anything sounded interesting. Follow last, and we are excited to bring more opportunities, more like cash flow reinvestment possibilities out there. And just to give you a little timeline, we are currently building our failnet, and we are planning to launch our incentivized testnet in summer. And that's it. Thank you.
Super.